Okay, greetings all, welcome back. It's been a few days later and we've had an update. I did a delivery for the post this morning. We have a set of 7 brand new belts, which not exactly for this machine but for one very similar. So tonight we're going to find out if these belts fit this VCR. Let's find out. Okay, first off then, there's a couple of belts under here that I can't get at the moment. Over here, I think, here somewhere, is the main motor that drives everything. There's a belt that runs from that to another spindle here, and there's also a couple of little belts that run the memory counter drive. I think all those have to be included. Yeah, we've got a couple of little belts there, so fortunately you can't get anywhere near it, so I'm going to have to try and unscrew this top section, see if it'll come out. Just like that. Okay, with the cassette tray mechanism out of the way, you can see better what I was talking about. So there is the motor that drives everything, and that's where it connects to, and you can see that belt is sort of half hanging off by the look of it. So I think that definitely wants to go. Then we've got these 2 other ones here. They're not vital, they're only part of the tape counter drive, but if they're part of the kit, let's put them in. Getting the old belt off was a bit of a faff. Getting the new one on is even more so, it seems. Okay, that's one on. Okay, that's got it. That's the first 2 belts on. There's the other one in there, that's got to come off. That looks pretty well worn to me. A fresh one to go in. It's looking better, nice and tight on there. Right, that just leaves the belts on the inside to do now. These are actually easy to get at. First of all, we've got this one here that runs the head drum, so that just pops straight off and gets replaced with one of them. So stick him on like that. That's got it. That seems stable. Right, we've got a long one that goes on there. Should be that one there, I think. Yeah, that's that one. I'm going to have a shorter one that goes onto that. Stick the short one on first because it's below the other one. This one, oh, I need to put the capstan belt on first. I'll have him off. This is the one that's been causing all the trouble. Got a fresh new one to go on. Oh yeah, that feels like a nice snug fit now. If I can just get it on the pulley without it falling off, that would be a bonus. Oh, that's got it. Oh yeah, that's a lot tighter. Now we've just got the long one that connects up to the these little gears here. There we go. I think that ought to do it. Right, just need to put it all back together now. Okay, I think we're in business. Let's try sticking a tape in. Hopefully it should lace up by itself without any help. Let's see. Straight in, no messing. That is what we like to see. Right, let's have a fiddle with the tracking. Now it's already doing better than it was because I've now got that on the automatic tracking switch, and apart from a little bit of jitter, and we've obviously got this line across here, I think that's down to the tape path alignment, but that is looking a lot better. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got the transport doing what it should. Now I think it's time to take a closer look at that head drum. Right, if we do a close up on the drum, you can see just along the bottom of the tape path there, that's quite badly corroded along there. I'm going to have to try and polish that up as best I can. The actual drum itself at first glance doesn't look too bad until you turn it around a few degrees, and then you can see we've got some rather nasty tarnishing and corrosion on that. That really needs to get polished up. These little strips, see these little scratches in here, they're meant to be there. That helps it. It's like a sort of air cushion. It means the tape sort of glides over the top of the drum rather than sort of really forcibly pushing against it. And obviously having all this corrosion here, it's probably absolutely mullering any tape that you put through it. Yeah, I think the only way we're going to tidy this head drum up is to use some sort of metal polish on it. I'm thinking sort of brasso or something like that. Sounds a bit low tech, but given that it's corroded, we've got to do something with it. I don't think that line in the middle of the picture is a problem with the heads themselves, because the rest of the picture looks fairly clear. It's just that bit in the centre of this screen that's got that snowy bit on it. That's probably down to a problem with the tape path, and it's just one small section that's not getting proper contact with the head drum as it goes round, and that's probably down to the corrosion on the drum. I haven't got any metal polish with me handy, but I have got a bit of foam cleaner and a bit of kitchen roll, so I'm just going to get the worst off it now, just see if that improves things a bit. So the problem is halfway down the picture, and as you can see from the transport here, halfway down the picture would be about there on the tape. There to there is about halfway through the tape, so I think that all this corroded bit is what's causing the trouble. So it's vitally important that when you do this, you don't get the bog roll stuck around the head itself. There's one there and one 180 degrees that way. So I'll just spin it around so it's well out of the way, and we'll just give this bit here a bit of a polish up so that when the tape goes past, it's stuck firmly parallel with the drum. You don't want any of this corrosion pushing it out of the way and upsetting the alignment, because I think that's what's causing the crappy picture. Now this is obviously not a very final way of doing things. It's not ideal. I'm going to get some Duraglit or Brasso or something on it when I get a chance, but I'm just hoping that just might improve things a little bit. Okay, let's give that a go. Stick the tape back in. And we press play. And what have we got on the TV? I was right. The nasty line on the middle's gone. I think that's fixed it. So I still think there's room for improvement there. With a proper head clean and a proper uncorroded, I can probably even improve on that a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's time to do a bit more cleaning up on the rest of this machine now. guys, another evening, another bit of tinkering. I've just been down the shops and I've bought a tin of Brasso. The plan is give that a go on the head drum, see if I can sort out that corrosion. So we get a little bit of Brasso. Hopefully this should do the trick. But, certainly this bottom drum, I need to get rid of the corrosion on the bottom of that. And hopefully this will just be just abrasive enough to get rid of the crap, but not be so abrasive as to do any damage to anything. I just want to get the shine back without taking any real material off it as such. So having got the worst of it out, I'll run my head cleaner tape through it. I don't like using these any more than I have to, but needs must. Head cleaner tape. Just give that a few seconds, that'll get the last of any bits that I've messed off it, hopefully. I think that will do it. Roll it round now. You can see that's got rid of any bits of leftover Brasso around the tape head itself. And yeah, there is a slight bit left there, but the whole thing looks a lot shinier and cleaner than it did before. That's got to be an improvement. Let's try running a tape through it. There we go, that's looking pretty good. There's a couple of dropouts on the picture, but I think that's down to it being quite an old tape, and well, to be fair, they're quite old heads, but they do appear to be working. There's a little bit of horizontal jitter there that I'm not entirely happy with, but I think we can probably improve that a bit. What I haven't done yet is have a fiddle with these tape guides yet. I think a little bit of fine tuning on that could just get the last little eke out of the picture quality on this. We'll see what we can do. So yeah, in case you're wondering what I'm on about with these tape guides, and you can see them when they start the tape. It's the two pins that pull the tape out and sort of wrap it around the head. So if I hit play, you can see them. There they go. Now it's very important that these tape guides here and here, they have to be exactly up and down in the right place, otherwise it won't wrap the tape past the head at exactly the right angle and it causes picture disturbance. So on the top of each one there's two little screw adjusts, and you can adjust them with a screwdriver. In theory you should be using an oscilloscope to check the waveform output of the head drum, but I haven't got anything quite that fancy, so we'll just have to do it visually by watching the picture. And you adjust the two screw heads here to get the best picture. So I won't use this tape, I'll use something a bit better I think, but we'll give that a go. So if you're going to do some sort of alignment, it's not a good idea to use a tape that was recorded on a domestic VCR, because there's every chance the tape path might have been out on that. So I've got something that was professionally recorded, and it hasn't been played too many times, so it should be in reasonable nick, so we'll try aligning it with this. Okay, so this could be a little bit hit and miss, but basically there's two tape guides there and there. Adjusting this one should cause a little bit of snow at the top, adjusting that one cause a bit of snow on the bottom. I just want to tweak them to get to the midpoint where we're not seeing snowy bits. So if I start turning the top one, should start seeing some disturbance. Oh, I've lost it altogether. Let's turn it back. When you're ready, try going the other way. Yeah, I think that's starting to look more ragged now. Yeah, you can just see it's, yeah, that's upsetting now, so we'll turn it back. Right, so that's about 1 o'clock position, and we'll do the same for the other side, watching the bottom of the screen. Right, turn it anti-clockwise for a bit, see what happens. Yeah, doesn't like that. Take it forward a bit, and we'll see how far we can take it forward before that starts messing up. Yeah, it doesn't like that. I can hear it mangling the tape. I'll turn that back a bit. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. If I had an oscilloscope, you need a dual trace scope, and you've got to pick up the pulse signal and the output from the drum. It's a bit involved. I'm not really set up for doing that here, but I think that's somewhere fairly close anyway. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. That's It seems to be a little bit less jittery than it was, and we're not seeing too much by way of dropouts and snow on it. I think that's about as good as we're going to get that. So yeah, I think we'll stick a lid on that and call it done. Yeah, that's looking better. Right, next job, we need to sort out some sort of mobile power supply for this thing.